Okay, I see most of the audience that was in the waiting room are here, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started, and we'll still have more people coming in and getting signed into the session this evening. And once again, thank you all for being here this evening. Tonight we are going to discuss the information. Tonight we are going to discuss the Human Resource Management Certificate Program and the SHRM exam preparation course. And my name is Angelo, and I am the Assistant Director for Enrollment Management at the Division of Continuing International Education. And this is our information session this evening, and very great to have you all here. A few housekeeping notes before we get started. The information session should take about 60 minutes. I will do my best to keep us within that time frame. A recording will be available for those of you who may miss part of today's session or may want to listen to the info session again. On demand will allow you to do that. We will provide you with the link to the recording. And very important, submit your questions in the Q&A feature. We will do our best to get as many questions answered as possible, but please go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A box. What we'll do is we'll discuss the HRM program a little bit and then ultimately go into the Q&A section. So we'll definitely make sure to get to all the questions that are there. And of course, if everything you hear tonight excites you and gets you ready to become a student for our program, we'll have a few slides to discuss the enrollment process, and registration is open right now for the fall semester. So before we get started, I did want to just take a moment to talk about our division. As I mentioned, I'm the Assistant Director for Enrollment Management at Division of Continuing and International Education. We at DCIE, as we like to call it, empower people to reach their full potential through lifelong learning. With more than 70 credit and non-credit programs, the division creates continuous learning experiences that transform individuals, organizations, and entire communities. I encourage all of you who have not done so yet to please visit our website. There's tons of good information about our certificate and non-credit programs, including the Human Resource Management program that we will discuss this evening. And without further ado, I would like to go ahead and introduce everyone to our lead faculty for the Human Resource Management Certificate Program, Jennifer Puentes. I'm going to give you a quick bio of Professor Puentes before we get started. Ms. Puentes is the lead faculty for the University of Miami Human Resource Management Certificate Program and has been teaching various modules throughout the program for the last several years. Currently, she serves as a senior human resource business partner, supporting regional leadership team for Chen Senior Medical Centers. In this role, she oversees talent through 11 primary care clinics across Miami-Dade and Broward. Her career experiences are diverse, encompassing operational leadership, human resources, and talent acquisition in retail, healthcare, and academia, providing her with the opportunity to lead different aspects of the employee experience. With a strong background in operations and a deep commitment to meeting organizational talent needs, she has dedicated her career to training and developing operational leaders to achieve success through effective leadership. Ms. Fuentes is a certified executive coach, which enhances her ability to help others, including key executives, achieve their leadership goals. She completed her Global Executive MBA at the University of Miami in 2018 and earned her undergraduate business degree from Florida International University. Professor Puentes, thank you so much for giving us some of your time this evening. If you're ready, please feel free to take the microphone.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, Angelo. And I look at this picture and I swear I was a lot cuter then. I think I need a new photo. So, hey, everyone, my name is Jennifer Puentes. As mentioned, I am the lead faculty for this program. I think I have been teaching in this program now for the last 4 to 5 years. And I guess on a personal note, I do want to share, I have a deep and personal commitment to work with working students. So many of us that are on this call and many of the students that have participated in the program have been working students with careers, family, and life. I have been in your shoes. I got my MBA at the age of 40, so I know what it's like to be a working parent and a working professional and attempting to achieve your academic goals. So it is my ongoing commitment to all of you and to this program to make sure that you can achieve your academic goals while learning something fantastic in a career that I love. So please know my unwavering commitment to all of you, as well as I'm really glad and excited that all of you are here. Angelo, can you go to the next slide? So I do want to talk a little bit about the program because I find the program to be fantastic, right? The program is broken out into these several topics or modules, like we will call them, right? Each of these modules is broken out into 4-week increments, right? So you'll have a module on strategic management, right? And understanding how HR leverages their skills and talents to allow our leaders to achieve their strategic goals, right? Because we are a strategic partner. Employment planning and practice, right? How do we do employment planning? How do we forecast to make sure that our organization can help achieve its goals? Legal and regulatory issues, so either as it relates to leaves or as it relates to even union organizing, what does all these things look like? Training and organizational development. How do we work with our employees to ensure that they are adult learners, right? So it's not like you're teaching individuals in an academic environment, right? These are individuals at work. How do you get the most out of your employees through training and organizational development? Employment and labor relations, right? Very important for those that are either working in a unionized environment or those of you that are not, or any risks associated to the employee experience or any risk associated to the company. And obviously the discussion of benefits and compensation. How do we continue as organizations and as HR partners to provide our organizations the ability to be competitive in both not only benefits, but as well as compensation to not only attract the best talent, but to keep the best talent. Angelo, next slide, please. So here are some of the outcomes, right? As you're trying to think through a program and to see the value that it could bring to you, right? We want to make sure that you understand what the potential outcomes are. So we've told you the topics that we're going to cover, but what are you going to do with what you're going to learn, right? So definitely, we want to provide you an enhanced understanding of navigating complex HR issues, right? So all of us and all of your instructors work, right? And we have day jobs, right? We want to bring a lot of our experiences and what we've learned in our career every day and bring that to you, right? So we will bring you complex HR issues that are happening to us probably today, right? Which add kind of great context and color to the program, but keep things really fresh, right? So any HR issues we want to talk about, issues obviously in the workplace, anything that has to do with employee health and wellness, as well as creating spaces for work-life balance. What does that mean today? We want to talk about disability management and the leave process. And obviously we want to cover compensation. We want to talk about effective recruitment strategies. So as an HR leader, you will work with your talent acquisition teams, or even if you are in a talent acquisition team, to understand the best ways to recruit, the best strategies around recruiting and also retaining talent. You want to develop methods to reward and retain great employees. So whether that's through benefits, compensation, those are things that we're going to talk about. Implement policies that reflect an understanding of legal protections, right, for both the employee and the employer. We want to make sure that you understand the laws that protect the employee, but there are similar laws that also protect the employer. So it's that fine dance, right? How do you navigate those two perspectives of the employee experience? Learn real world solutions, right? We're going to come to you with the issues that we're experiencing every day, right? And we're going to let you know what we're doing. Sometimes it's the right answer. Sometimes it's just an option for you to have in your toolbox to be able to take back to work and apply what you're learning, right? So we want to make sure we're showing you what's happening to us, what's happening in the world today. So maybe you could take some of that information back and be able to apply it in your jobs. And then we want you to also acquire balanced perspectives, right? There's an opportunity here for you to not only hear from us, but to hear from other classmates that may be interested in HR or are currently working in HR. What have they experienced? What are they going through? And how are they navigating their biggest challenges? Angelo, the next slide, please. So kind of why the program, right? And I think we understand that this is a huge time commitment for you. obviously many of you either considering going into human resources or actively working in HR, right? What does this mean to you and the time commitment that's going to be required? What are you going to get out of it, right? So right now, there is a huge demand for human resources professionals, not only responsible for staffing organizations, finding the most qualified candidates, but as I mentioned, helping leaders achieve their strategic goals, right? So how are we creating HR leaders that are going to help organizations move into their future? Our goal out of this program is that you also stand out with your certificate in HR and become top talent in any search, right? So as you're seeking HR opportunities, having an HR certificate will put you as someone who has the knowledge and skill set, right, to be able to navigate complex HR issues. And then obviously this provides you the real world curriculum and tools necessary to obviously become a strategic HR partner, not only in achieving your goals, the goals of your people, the goals of your teams, and the goals of your leaders. So next, Angela, there's another one for me. This program also helps you in navigating what's called the SHRM exam, right? So it does provide you the knowledge that you need to set the foundation for you to be able to sit for your exam. This is a preparation course designed primarily for individuals seeking their SHRM certifications. It helps expand your test knowledge, obviously with providing practical skills, real life competencies in the area of HR, and obviously anything in HR career services. The course combines expert instruction from SHRM Learning System in an intensive 8-week program to help you build and learn faster, right? So you have the opportunity not only to take the HR certificate, but to make sure that you get your SHRM exam preparation course. So Angela will be talking a little bit more about the two programs and what that looks like and the timing associated with those programs. Next slide. So your SHRM certification does help, right, in order for you to become the most competitive candidate in an HR search, right? So it provides you not just knowledge, but how to apply the knowledge on the job. It's offered by the SHRM organization, which is the world's largest membership organization. And it's obviously a highly recognized certification program, right? So it recognized expert and the leader in the HR field, and it's recognized globally and across various industries, right? So if you are interested in the SHRM certification, it does help you stand out as it relates to others that are maybe in the HR field that don't have the certificate. So definitely something good to stand out that truly highlights your expertise. And obviously you need to test in order to acquire the certification. So if you test and obviously you pass, it gives great warning probably to the employer that you're seeking that you're obviously quite knowledgeable and skilled in the HR profession. So a little bit about the SHRM certification and the criteria, right? So the SHRM CP certification is intended for individuals who perform general HR functions, right? So, or for those currently enrolled students in the human resources management program, right? So you don't have to have any work experience for your SHRM CP. Candidates for the SHRM CP are not required to hold an HR title or degree or have any previous HR experience. But this program allows you to gain the knowledge necessary in order for you to sit in the exam and allow the questions to make sense, right? So it does allow for a lot of that. The SHRM exam is designed to assess the competency level of HR at an operational level. The level includes implementing policies, supporting day-to-day functions, observing HR as the first point of contact for staff and stakeholders, right? So for many of you, this might be the space that would help you acquire the knowledge that you need, not only to complete, hopefully, the HR certificate program or sit for the SHRM preparation, but obviously to be able to pass the exam. Next, Angela. So for those individuals that have a good amount of HR experience and are interested in sitting for the SHRM exam, right? The SHRM SCP is the exam that obviously would benefit you most. This particular exam is for individuals who have work history of at least 3 years performing in an HR strategic capacity, right? So it could be someone who's maybe sat in talent acquisition, compensation, benefits, or in an HR role, right? So you've held your credentials for at least 3 years, are in the process of transitioning to a strategic level role. So candidates for this certification are not required to hold an HR title and do not need a degree to apply. The SHR SCP exam is designed to assess the competency level of those who engage in HR work at a strategic level. Work at this level includes duties such as developing HR policies or procedures, overseeing the execution of any integrated HR operation, and directing an entire HR enterprise or leading the alignment of HR strategy. So if you have the experience in HR, this would be the level of exam you would want to take, but they will require and need documentation of at least 3 years of working experience in an HR capacity. Applicants must be able to demonstrate that they've devoted at least 1,000 hours to a strategic level in HR. More than 1,000 hours in a calendar year does not equate to more than 1 year experience. Part-time work, as long as it's 1,000 hours, does qualify. I'm sorry, everybody. There's just notes coming up. And experience may be in a salaried or hourly capacity. So obviously, with more experience, you're able to take the higher level exam, and definitely over time, the higher level exam, as you want to continue to grow in your career, would definitely be something definitely to try to achieve in the future. Next one, Angelo. Okay, I think there's been questions kind of popping up, Angelo, so I'm happy to take some and you could
Sure.
take some.
Absolutely. Thank you, Professor Puentes. I see one for now in our Q&A box. It's from Anonymous. The question is, if I'm currently attending a university to obtain my bachelor's degree in human resources,
Mhm.
how does this program differ?
So I think this is going to help you, and I've taken HR courses, right, through college and obviously through my MBA program. Where I think this is going to differ is that there is the component of helping you pass the exam. I think you learn a lot of general knowledge of HR in your programs, but a lot of the exam is the application of the HR concepts. And I think this program leans further into the application of HR concepts versus uh, the books of HR, right? Kind of the history of HR, the day-to-day semantics, the application is kind of where this program differs versus maybe what you're learning in your college level courses. I hope
Excellent.
that helped.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Looks like there's another one here in the Q&A section. A couple questions. The prospective student is asking, how long is the program? How much is it? And then as far as scholarships and funding, we'll definitely get into that in a few slides from now, and also the tuition as well. So if you want to maybe, Professor, just talk about the length of the program and maybe the format.
Sure. So Angela, if you don't mind, like slipping right back to the
Hmm.
first couple slides, right, that go into all the modules. I think if we have a visual, it might help, right?
Sure.
So, as we mentioned at the beginning, this program is broken out into, keep going back a little bit
Hmm.
further.
Yeah, let me know when.
Yeah, keep going.
Mm.
Keep going. Awesome. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Mhm.
So this is the program content, right? Each each of the different stages or the different modules is broken out into 4-week periods. So there are 6 different modules. Each module is 4 weeks. So the program theoretically is 6 months long, each module being 4 weeks each. So once we're done with strategic management, depending on what type of course you take, you will either stay with the same professor throughout the duration of the program, or we will have different instructors throughout different programming, which either way helps provide you very, very different perspective throughout the duration of the program. But each of the sections or modules is 4 weeks long. The entire program is 6 months in length.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And just to clarify, the program is fully online, just to make sure everyone understands that. And also keep in mind, we do offer 2 learning formats for the Human Resource Certificate program. There's the option to take the course with live lectures on Zoom, that happen
Yeah.
twice a week. And there's also the option to do it asynchronously. Professor, maybe you can talk a little bit about the differences between
I can
the
connect.
two options for the HRM certificate program and how they differ, maybe.
Sure. So I've been really lucky to be able to help with both, right? So I participate with students in 2 nights a week in a live lecture session. So for each module, it'll be 2 nights a week. And I think for the upcoming programs, we either have a Tuesday, Thursday, or a Monday, Wednesday. So Angela will go into those options towards the end. So it is live 2 nights a week. Class is usually from 6:30 to about 9, depending on the amount of content that we have to cover. Our classes could end potentially a little bit earlier, but we will start promptly at 6:30. And like I said, that's 2 nights a week live with an instructor. If you decide you'd like to take the program on your own, and it's, I guess, fully self-paced, however, there's a caveat to self-paced, right? You do move along the program alongside the live students, right? So what that means is you have week-to-week assignments, and every week your assignments are due, right? So you are moving alongside with the live students. You are able to go slightly ahead, but the reality is that we want to make sure that you're taking the time that you need to absorb the information. You see the live class that I give. So every class that I give live to the students is recorded, and then you get to play that back. You get to see the entire lecture, everything that we covered, and then you get to navigate through the material. I want to be very clear, for both programs, there is homework and there is quizzes, right? So we want to make sure, we want to be able to understand that you are actually grasping the knowledge that we're trying to convey to you, right? So there is an opportunity usually every week to do a discussion post. That means that there is a topic that we'll share with you. You will respond to that topic. Then we also ask you to respond to a peer, sometimes two. So you'll respond to another classmate, right? And that's usually due by Sunday of that given week. And for some of the modules, there is a quiz every week. Some weeks there is a written assignment. So there are assignments that are due throughout the program. So whether you're in the live program that you're learning directly from an instructor, or you've decided to take it self-paced or asynchronous, right? You can and should follow, right? Kind of moving week over week. The program, whether you're doing it on your own or with an instructor, is still the same length, and the due dates are exactly the same. And your instructor is equally as available to you, whether you're in the live class or whether you're taking it fully online. We're here and available to you and are here to support you through the entire duration of the program. I hope
Perfect.
that helped.
No, that's perfect. Thank you, Professor. And especially reiterating the point about, if you are taking the self-paced asynchronous option, you're still responsible for deadlines, for assignments and everything else. So you have to keep up with the rest of the cohort. So what I'm going to do now, since I see we have no open questions at this point, let me jump through the slides and get us to some of the information about the upcoming cohort and the start dates. Before I do that, I do want to just go over really quickly some of the features that are available to you as University of Miami students. And this is really something unique to the University of Miami, that certificate programs have access to these resources. As a student in our program, you have both access to our career service center, and which allows you to apply for jobs through a platform called Handshake. We have internship opportunities available listed there. You can register for career fairs, have your resume reviewed. So very important resource. And also you have access to the library. You can use the library resources online, or if you're local to South Florida, you're always welcome to check out books in person as well. So definitely wanted to just point that out before we get into some of the information about the upcoming cohort. So we have listed here our fall semester start dates. So for the Human Resource Management Program, which is the 6-month course that Professor Puentes was speaking about, we have a September start date coming up, not too far away, just in about 2 weeks. So if you're interested in that course, I certainly recommend moving forward with the registration process sooner rather than later. And keep in mind, for that start date, we will run both versions of the class, both the asynchronous slash self-paced option that we discussed and the live Zoom meetings version of the course. And then we will again run both versions of the course in October 21st. So you will have a second start date, an opportunity in the fall to get started with us in case that September session is coming up a little bit too soon for you. And then keep in mind, we did focus a lot of the questions about the human resource management program. The SHRM certification exam prep is a different course. So that one is only 8 weeks in length. And for that particular program, we have only one start date coming up in the fall. The tuition information is listed there. We do have payment options available for the program. What I'll do is I'll provide my contact information at the end of our slides this evening. And if anybody wants a bit more detail about the financial information, they're welcome to reach out to me, and we can certainly go over those details. Any other points to add about the start dates and the upcoming cohort, Professor?
No, I don't have anything. Any other questions from students at this point?
The Q&A box is empty. I encourage all of
I
you,
know.
if you have any questions, don't be shy. Please feel free to ask away. I did see one question come in. Oh, about the timing of the live classes. I think we
Yeah.
answered
Yeah, and
that
that's
one.
at 6:30 p.m. Yeah.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
guess maybe one point of contention, right, that I think has come up in students wondering, I've never done HR before. Is this really for me? Right. I think this is an opportunity for individuals who have zero HR experience, but are interested in HR to really understand the ongoing, like, real life dynamics of what truly happens with an HR professional. And I think this program allows you to be able to know and make a decision if a shift into HR can be an option for you. I tell everyone that I call HR a calling, right? It's a very, very difficult job, but no 2 days are the same. And as HR professionals, we get to help people every day in a very, very profound way. So I think you'll find throughout this program, you will find if HR does become your calling, you will find out if this is an area that you want to pursue, but you also get to explore all the different areas of HR that could be of interest to you. So HR isn't just HR, right? HR is talent acquisition, it's benefits, it's compensation, it's workforce planning, it's talent development, it's training and development, right? So depending on the company that you work for or the type of leader in HR you want to be, this program helps you explore the different avenues of HR. So hopefully you can navigate your HR career the best way you see fit. Use your talents and gifts in the area of HR because there's just so many areas of HR that you can love, right? So I think this program allows you to explore all those areas to decide where you can fit best. So I've worked in multiple areas of HR. I have found the area that I love, but getting through all these areas of HR has allowed me to figure out what I want to be and what I want to continue doing. So I hope that helps, right? You don't have to have any HR experience to enter this program. A majority of my students for the last 5 years have zero experience in human resources. And hopefully, I'm going to say a majority of them have come out loving and knowing that HR is the career they want to pursue. And for that, we're really lucky, right? To be able to give them the gift of knowing what they want to do for the rest of their career. So having that honor is huge. And we don't take it very, very lightly, right? We love what we do, and we want to make sure that students come out knowing that they either want to continue their career in HR or venture into HR. So it's a very exciting time and a very exciting program.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Professor. And I
Yeah.
see a few questions pop up. And all it took was a little
Yes.
bit of encouragement. So if you have access to the Q&A box, did you want to kind of review and see
Yes.
which ones you want to go through, which ones to highlight?
Sure. So I guess one of the questions, and Angelo, I'm going to go, but you tell me if I've missed one, right? Would this certificate allow me to apply for entry-level employment opportunities? I'm going to say yes and yes, right? a lot of my, and please, I was also a career coach for some time, right? So I tell a lot of students, this is a great opportunity for you not only to build your network with your instructors, but for you to also build your network amongst other students in the program. In my last class, I had a student who did not have a job, looking for a job in HR. Well, she does have a job, looking for a job in HR. And another student who works in HR is like, hey, I know I work far, but come apply for me, get your foot in the door. At least we can get you working. And over the next couple years, you may love it and stay, or you may find something else, right? So students have sent me their resume because they know in my employer, there was an opening, right? So you're creating a community of HR professionals just by being in the program, not only with your instructors, but the students at large, right? In addition, the program now has the ability that you can work with career services at the university, right? To not only provide you postings, right, for organizations that actually want to recruit students, but also you're able to search on their webpage jobs that that maybe are entry-level HR jobs, right? So please know that this program will help you build your network. It does provide you with the opportunity to have SHRM membership for 1 year. So we're building your network even more, allowing you to have SHRM membership for 1 year, which is also adding to your network. So just kind of want to make sure that that is an area that yes, with this program, you are probably more than qualified to start applying for entry-level HR jobs.
Excellent. And I'm just going to take a quick one here for Alexandra. She's asking about the spring starts. So Alexandra, we will probably publish that coming up in a couple of months. So stay tuned. Right now, we only have registration open for the fall semester, but we will, of course, run this program again, likely in February, if you're looking at the spring start date. So just wanted to go ahead and give you that information. Like I said, we'll publish the registration and all that information on the website in the coming months.
Yeah. And I think we have a question, right? So at the end of this program, do you walk away with a certificate, right? So you walk away with the completion of the program and the completion of the HR certificate program. Obviously, on a separate note, should you want to sit for your SHRM exam, that would be a separate transaction on your behalf. With your SHRM membership, you do get a discount to be able to sit for the SHRM certification exam, but that is a separate transaction that you would do on your own. So I want to make sure you walk out with your University of Miami HR certificate for completion of the program. And Anna, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost certain you walk away with that certificate. And then you would have to separately go through SHRM and to be able to go ahead and apply for your exam in order to sit for it to get your SHRM certification.
Correct. Yes.
Correct.
Correct. Yes.
Thank you, Anna.
Anna's voice is coming from, thank you, Anna. So there's somebody, there's an anonymous attendee asking, I've been working in HR for over 5 years. Does being certified make a difference? So for the purposes of the certification, right? I think the certification is going to allow you additional knowledge and skill set that you probably don't have at this time, right? However, it's going to depend on your employer. I'm going to say within your current employer, definitely work with your leader, ask them about the possibility. Hey, if I complete this program, is there any gain for me? I am going to say where it's going to help is in your wantingness and willingness to grow within your HR field, whether you want to take on a leadership capacity, whether you want to grow in another organization, it does make you a more competitive candidate, right? So even if you have HR experience, right, learning and gathering either additional certifications, additional programming, getting your SHRM certification, that's just going to increase your equity, if you will, right? So whether you stay in your current employer or you decide that you want to move employers, we want to make sure that you are the most competitive candidate. So picking up these credentials continues to make you the most competitive candidate. And I'm going to tell you guys, I've been working in HR for a really, really long time. Like I'm kind of like an old lady, right? So you never stop learning in this space, period. right? Our world is always changing. Laws are always evolving. There's things that are going to challenge us every day. So the beauty of being in HR is no matter what, you're going to be learning every day. And this program gets to bring you into the now to understand how you can be the best strategic partner in HR today. One of the questions is, how soon after finishing the program can I sit for the SHRM test? And that's really going to be up to you, right? So you can decide during the program to schedule your exam if you wanted to. So I am always going to suggest you're going to take all the content that we're going to give you. You are going to register for the exam in a little bit of a further future so you can learn how to test for the SHRM exam. There's awesome resources and materials that are available in order for you to understand how the questions are written for the SHRM exam. Now, if you decide that you're going to take the SHRM certification test prep, obviously you should be able to sit for your exam shortly after, but I'm always going to recommend if you take the HR certificate program, that's that 6-month long program all about HR. You can definitely schedule yourself for the exam, but I'm always going to recommend whether you sit for our test prep or do your own test prep, you're going to want to do test prep before you sit for your SHRM certification exam. So hopefully you'll do it with us, right? Those 2 thumbs up. That's the goal. Hopefully you'll do it with us and enjoy the program enough to want to sit for your test prep. But definitely I would recommend do test prep on your own before you sit for your certification exam.
And Professor, did we catch the one from, I think it's Diana, about a few questions back? And maybe you did, but I may have missed
I
it.
did.
Oh, okay,
I
perfect.
just didn't say
Let me-
Diana, but thanks,
okay,
Diana.
let me take that out of our queue.
Yeah, for sure. And we did the how soon after finishing a program can I sit for the SHRM? Perfect. Anna, do you know how much of a discount it would be for the SHRM exam with their membership?
Good question.
It is about based on the last exam because every time
Yeah.
it changes. It was about $150 less.
Okay.
Mhm.
So thank you for that. That's why I caution everyone that wants to sit for their SHRM, you do want to do test prep. The discount helps. It is a costly exam, right? I want to make sure if you're interested in SHRM certification, please do your research, see if you can get sponsorship from your employer to sit down and take it. It is a costly exam. So I want to make sure that either if you do the test prep with us or do your own individual test prep, you want to make sure you kind of give it your best shot because it is a costly exam. So if you don't pass, then you have to pay for it again. So just kind of want to make sure, as Anna's mentioning, with your SHRM membership, it will take off between $100, $150. I also think there's maybe some discounting on prep materials, but that can change year over year. But it is a costly exam. So I want to make sure you're ready to actually sit for the exam, understand how the questions are loaded, how to read them, and how to answer them. It's just like going way back when you did your SATs. It's not only understanding the concepts of the SAT, but how the questions are asked and how you should be answering. All that's testing strategy. We want to make sure you're ready to do that before you go off and spend the amount for the exam and potentially not pass.
And just to add to what you said, Jen,
Yeah.
so for the SHRM exam preparation course, students will receive about 4 textbooks. They are very thick. And also they will have access to the online learning resources. This is directly with SHRM, so because we are approved members, so the students will receive both the books and the online training materials.
And I think that's wonderful, Anna, right? So if students are making a decision if to do the test prep course with us, right, really understand that for the full cost, you're getting an instructor, you're getting the materials, you're getting a test bank of questions. So what a great opportunity to have facilitated learning to help you navigate through the exam, as well as give you tips and tricks to test correctly. Because it's, like I said, it's not only the questions and having the knowledge, but it's to truly understand what the questions are asking you and what the best response would be. right? So just think that through as you're pricing out the test prep program. It does include your books, it does include a test bank, and it does include having a true life instructor who is certified to teach you how to pass the exam through SHRM. So really, really important as you're pricing that out. So there's an individual with a lot of HR experience and understanding if this program is right for her. I would say I've got a lot of HR experience just like you. Like I told you, I'm a pretty old lady. I've been doing this for a really long time. And I'm going to say every time I'm in the program, all of our content evolves and develops because what's happening in the law and what's happening on how we can support as strategic HR partners is changing and evolving all the time. So I can tell you, I've learned a lot from this program. Even being an instructor, I learn a lot from students. We look at articles that are coming out. We talk about real life situations, strikes that are happening across the country, things that are happening as it relates to benefits compensation. So we're doing this all the time. So even if you are a seasoned HR professional, I think you can benefit from this program. Now, it also depends, and I want to make sure that a program like this aligns with your career goals, right? If your employer is seeking an additional certification, then do that. If the jobs that you're seeking are looking for a certification to make you the most qualified candidate, then I think it's the program for you, right? So I can tell you, I've been learning throughout my 5 years in teaching this program, not only from students, but from other instructors, right? And how active and live our programming is. So even as a seasoned HR professional, I can tell you I'm still learning, right? So I hope that that helps answer your question. If you haven't done your SHRM certification, this might be a great opportunity for you. A lot of seasoned HR professionals have not gotten their SHRM certification because it's either time or you're scared because you don't want to fail, or I can speak for myself because that's been one of my ongoing worries, right? I want to make sure you know we're here to prepare you and for here to keep this program engaging, not only for our seasoned HR professionals, but those that are entering HR for the first time. Are there any books you highly recommend regarding HR for supplemental learning? We're going to be supplying you a lot of information, right? So for the purposes of this program, there is little to no need for you to get additional HR supplemental materials. We're here to supply you with everything. Now, should you want to sit for your SHRM exam, there's a ton of materials. And as I said, our program includes 4 books, like Anna mentioned. So nothing to prepare you for the programming, but we are going to make sure that we supply you all the information that you need in order to do well throughout the program. Is it possible just to do the test prep without the certification? You can definitely, and Angelo, correct me if I'm wrong, should you just want to sit for the test prep program with us, for the SHRM certification test prep program, you are more than welcome to do that without taking the HR certificate program. However, I am going to say the HR certificate program helps you build the ongoing day-to-day knowledge to make sure that when you sit for your SHRM certification, all of that comes to life. You know what to do, the examples, what's actually been happening out there. So the HR certification program helps you to bring the exam to life. If you just sit with the exam and you're just going off the books, it's very limited learning. And even if you walk away with your certificate and you want to become an HR professional, you're going to have to know how to deal with the day-to-day shenanigans, if you will, the day-to-day things that happen with HR professionals, right? The program, the HR certificate program, allows you to have that. So when you sit with the exam, you understand the day-to-day things that are actually happening, not just the stuff in the books, but the stuff that happens to HR professionals every day. So I think both programs work really nicely hand in hand. So the SHRM CP and the PHR exams, basically the difference in those is the amount of expertise you have in the HR field prior to taking the exam. right? So if the SHRM CP is for those with no experience in HR or very little experience in HR, and obviously the more advanced HR exam requires you to be able to highlight and prove at least 3 years of experience in the field of HR. There's someone asking a great question, right? They are currently in healthcare. Does HR law change depending on the field of work? So usually HR law as it applies to employees is no. However, what's changed is sometimes the application of the law, right? So the laws itself in totality don't change, but very interesting, right? COVID being the perfect example. How you deal with COVID in a healthcare setting for your employees is very different than how you would deal with COVID in another type of office setting, right? So the laws itself as it relates to workplace safety all remain the same, but the applications of the laws could vary. Please know, I've done HR in retail, I've done HR in healthcare for many years, right? I've also worked in academia, right? So the laws as it relates to the employees will relatively remain the same, but there may be some components of application that could vary. So I hope that helped answer that. So I think I've answered some of these questions.
I think so. I think we are getting through some. Thank you for all the excellent questions, and thank you, Professor Puentes, for helping us answer these questions. If it's okay, I will just take a quick minute to just show everyone the registration page and the information. I know sometimes people get a little bit concerned about application and sending in documents. For this particular program, there are no formal prerequisites. So once you decide that this is the right program for you, I promise you it'll probably take you less than 20 minutes to get everything completed. So I'm just going to show you very quickly and take you to our primary page where you can review the information. So when you log into our professional certificates website, this is the page you'll come into. You'll see all of our certificate programs listed here. You go to the human resources icon, and as we discussed, you'll see the self-paced option, the live session, and the SHRM prep course. You simply go in here, you pick the start date that is of interest to you, you add it to your cart, go to checkout. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, don't do that. And okay, yeah, so it's in your shopping cart. You go to checkout. Once you click this last button here, it'll take you to our student portal where you will create your profile. Again, probably less than 10 minutes to get your profile created. And when you're ready to make the initial payment, that'll complete the initial registration process. So just wanted to show everyone how easy it is to get registered if you decide to move forward and enroll in one of our courses here. And did I see a question come up while we were, I think, on the other page? No, looks like we got through all the ones that I see here. So it looks like we've got through all of them, Professor. Any,
No, I just wanted to comment, right? Some of the, I think some of the concerns, right, could be how much work am I going to have to do here, right? I'm working full time, I have a family, and now I'm going to have a class and I'm going to have homework, right? What does that feel like and how are we going to manage it? I would say in homework alone, it's maybe an hour or two, I would say, probably every week. Some weeks are less, some weeks are a little bit more, depending on what's due. Your instructors are here to be able to work with you and to be able to help you navigate, knowing some of you travel for work, knowing things happen, knowing emergencies happen. As we move forward through programming, right, each module, as we told you, is 4 weeks. You can work with your instructors to submit all of your assignments within that 4-week period. However, as you navigate, right, and potentially there could be late submissions, we're going to ask within that 4-week period, you got to submit everything by that 4th week due date. right? And then you'll move to the next. So you're cleanly moving to the next module. But I definitely let the students know it's about maybe 2 to 3 hours a week. If you're taking the asynchronous or the online learning or self-paced, right? You're going to watch the classes, which usually are like an hour and a half to 2 hours, hopefully, right? You're going to read through the material and you're going to do your homework. So if you are a student that's taking this self-paced, it's going to be a little bit more time because I'm also including you watching the videos of the class, right? So potentially I would say homework per week, 2 to 3 hours. A lot of our students stay after the class, the live class, do their homework, and then go put the kids down, or early Saturday morning, or while the kids are at practice. So please know we have a lot of working parents and a lot of working professionals that take this program. So your instructors are here to work with you just to make sure that you're able to accomplish your career goals, as well as your family goals, as well as your academic goals. So I hope that helps to kind of lessen some of the pressure. It is about 2 to 3 hours a week for the 6-month period. Some weeks are a little bit less, some weeks are a little bit more, but I think that that's probably a good number on average. So I hope that helps. It's very, very manageable. And I tell my students, you're going to read the assignments, but do not panic, right? We don't want you to panic. It is all very, very manageable workload. And like I say, I know it's manageable because I've been in your shoes, right? And we're here to help you to get through the program. We want you to succeed and we want you to finish the program. So I think 2 to 3 hours is about right.
Excellent. Any words of advice, parting wisdom to students who are looking to dedicate the next maybe 6 months to this program?
I think, okay, words of wisdom. The students get really, really close, right? No matter if you're doing the test prep or if you're doing the live program, or even if you're online, you're watching the students in the live class and you're responding to student discussions, right? You are going to build a phenomenal group of people that could be with you for the rest of your career. It is a 6-month program, so you guys are together for the next 6 months, right? You will find very quickly that you're not alone in navigating life, career, and family, right? All of us are doing that, including myself, right? Including your instructors. So you are building your community right out of the gate, right? So that part of the program I love, right? So when I say you're stuck with them and you're stuck with me, you're stuck with us forever, right? Because we're just part of your ongoing community in HR. Your professors are here to work with you, but you have to work with us, right? On a words of wisdom perspective. If you're going to run late on an assignment, let us know. If something's happening, let us know. We will be highly communicative. We ask the same in return in order to be fair, right? Your instructors are people too, right? So we are asking, teach us something. What happened in your job today, right? How can we help you navigate a difficult situation? Your classmates want to be there to help you. So we're going to bring our stories. We ask you to bring your stories as well. Especially as you're looking at discussion posts, we want to really know what's happening in your life so we understand you are truly applying what you are learning in the workplace, right? So the discussion posts are going to ask you, what's happened at work? Really tell us what's happened at work. Our goal is not for you in your homework, except in the quizzes naturally, right? But in your discussion post or your written assignments, we're not looking for the right answer. We are looking for you to understand, or for us, for you to be able to tell us that you're understanding the concepts and this is how you're applying the concepts. The quiz, the answers are either right or wrong, but for the purposes of discussion posts and written assignments, it's not about 100% accuracy. We want to really know you're understanding what you're learning. It helps your instructors to do better, right? But it also helps us to understand, is the information really getting through? Do I have to pivot and shift as an instructor, right? And are you really learning? Are you being challenged with the information, right? So you will do great. You will be great. We're here to help you navigate through the process and through this journey, and we're excited to have you. So if any of you, please see the spelling of my name. Please feel free to find me on LinkedIn and send me a quick message. Should you have any additional questions, my name is spelled weird. It's Jennifer with a Y. I know it's I don't know why. But please feel free to find me on LinkedIn. I respond to all students. So I'm excited. You'll be increasing my network on LinkedIn, and hopefully I'll be increasing yours. So thank you for your time and attention today. We're really excited to welcome you into the next program.
Excellent. Thank you. And the perfect way to end our session this evening. Professor Puentes, thank you so much for your time
Thank you.
tonight. Thank you to my teammates who helped answer questions and help us with the event this evening. And of course, the audience and prospective students and future students that have joined us tonight. If you have any questions, my contact information is there as well. You're always welcome to reach out to me. As I mentioned, our September cohort is coming soon. If you have questions that come up after tonight's session, or if we missed any of them by mistake, feel free to reach out to me as well. We really look forward to welcome you to our fall cohort starting in very soon. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.